All right, I'm pulling up redeem. All right, so redeem means to, let's go. I'm looking for the right one. To fulfill. All right, to fulfill. Okay, it has different meanings. So I'm looking for the meaning that's applicable to what it is that we're talking about. It also talks about redeeming stands for to buy back. Okay, to buy back. So redeeming the time is to take advantage of the time. Take advantage of the time that you have in front of you. And that means, guys, listen, your most precious gift that you have right now is time. And never before have you had this level of time to just sit down and focus on the things that you really want to focus on. So I would really like to recommend that you guys figure out how to take advantage of this time. And the only way you're really going to be able to redeem the time is if you free up your mind from the negative energy and make a decision to commit to putting your energy and effort into something specifically, whether that's growth, whether that's launching your business, whether that is, working on a hobby that you have or whatever it is. But you really want to put your time right now into something that is valuable. You know, it's amazing because for months, like we live in a small, tight space, right? And for months, I've been wanting to declutter the house. I've been wanting to go through paperwork. I've been wanting to organize my closet, get rid of all these clothes and all those different things that I wanted to do because, you know, when you live in a smaller space, you got to really take advantage of your space. You got to be very smart with how you use your space. And it's just crazy because as I started going through stuff and started organizing paperwork, and we're going to be going through closets. We had this extra room that just kind of became a storage room. We started shifting and gave Carson his own room now. And we had this space. It's like, it's amazing what you do when you put your mind and energy and effort into utilizing your time to produce something. All of a sudden, it's like, gosh, you feel like your life is speeding up and making so much progress forward because you're redeeming the time. You're utilizing your time wisely. I see people a lot of times be like, man, how are you able to get all these things done? How are you able to do this? How are you able to do that? And it's because I get up at 3:00 in the morning and I get to work. I start off early, right? People ask me all the time, how do you homeschool your kids? I run a digital marketing agency. I run a training academy. You know, I'm a wife. I cook 2 to 3 meals a day. Like, it's all this stuff that I got to do. I got the same 24 hours y'all have, but it's because I get my behind up early and I use my time. I do not watch TV during the day. It's not going to happen. The only time I Netflix and chill is when I'm on my way to sleep, which is why it takes me 5 times to watch one show because I always fall asleep in the first 5 minutes. But I don't watch TV during the day. I don't have personal conversations during the day. I don't sit around during the day and just stare into space. If I got an issue and I feel myself getting worked up, I do one of 2 things. I'm going to go somewhere and I'm going to pray and put on some praise and worship music so God can actually help me work through that energy that I'm feeling. Or I'm going to take my butt for a walk and go burn that energy. And on my walk, I'm going to pray while I walk. Yesterday, I started feeling anxious and overwhelmed. And I told my husband, I was like, I got this crazy energy going on right now. And I got my daughter. I was like, let's go for a walk. And so I put on the song. I can't remember what the title of it is, but I wrote the title on my wall today. It's Waymaker, Miracle Wonder, Promise Keeper, Light in the Darkness. My God, that is who you are. It's a Christian song, right? And so I turned that song on and we went for a walk and we just put that song on repeat, me and my daughter. And so while we were walking, I was like, Chloe, we're going to pray. We're going to pray for the doctors. We're going to pray for the nurses. We're going to pray for the staff that is out here being subjected to all of this stuff. We're going to pray for the people who are dealing with this illness. We're going to pray for the wicked people who are behind a lot of deception that is happening right now in the media. We're going to pray like we just started praying on the whole walk. My daughter began to pray, asking God that she doesn't lose her childhood because of coronavirus, right? It was like, I told her, you can pray to God and ask him for whatever you want. She's been praying for a house. She's like, God, please let us get a house. Don't let coronavirus keep us from getting a house, right? It was like, put that energy into something right now so we can pray and work our way through what is happening. And then when we're done, boom, time to get back to work. Right? Time to get back to work. I'm going to trust God to escort us through this situation so that I can be able to redeem my time and take advantage of my time. So I'm not going to let a circumstance or an emotion come in to destroy or disrupt the time, energy, and effort that I need to put into my focus of what God has called me to do in this season, right? So I have to pray my way through it or go for a walk or work out to get through that thing. And then I'm going to get on the other side, because guys, time is the most precious thing that you have. So number 5 is plan for tomorrow, but live for today. Make sure that you are redeeming the time that you have, because you cannot get your time back. All right. Number 6 is everything comes in time to those who can wait. Right. And so what does this mean? Well, here's the thing. A lot of times we want things to happen for us right now. And when things don't happen in the time in which we want them to happen, we get discouraged and we start giving up on that thing. But what I've learned is that everything happens in God's timing. And let me tell you how this applied to me personally. There are things that God has shown me he was going to do since I was 19 years old. I'm in my 40s now, right? And I used to wonder, like, I would think that it's going to happen, every year. Oh my God, this is my year. God is going to do this. God is going to do that. And you have like a vision of those pictures that God is giving you, and you're expecting for those things to manifest immediately, right? We feel like, oh, when God gives us a vision, it has to happen immediately. But the thing is if you read Habakkuk 2:2, that's why he tells us to write the vision and make it plain, because it says, though it may tarry, it will come to pass. So tarry simply means that though it's going to take time, right? Though tarry means time, though it may feel like it's delayed, it is going to come to pass. Habakkuk 2:2 says, then the Lord said to me, write my answer plainly on tablets so that a runner can carry the correct message to others. The vision is for a future time. Okay. It describes the end and it will be fulfilled. If it seems slow in coming, wait patiently. All right. For it will surely take place. It will not be delayed. Okay. So that basically means, and this is the New Living Translation Bible. And it's saying God gives us a vision, and the vision is to show us what is to come in the future. But that's why we need to write the vision down, because it will be delayed. It's going to come at an appointed time. The different version, the New King James Version, is it says, write the vision and make it plain on tablets. Though it may tarry, it shall come to pass. Right? So though it may take time, it is going to come to pass. Many of us have been impatient with God's timing, and we're questioning why it hasn't happened. And here's what we tend to do when things don't come when we want it to come. We end up trying to do the counterfeit version of what we want it to be. So when God doesn't work fast enough, we'd be like, all right, God, since you can't do it, I'm going to go and recreate it for myself, and I'm going to make it happen on my own. We know what happens when we make it happen on our own. We mess up, right? We end up going out here and screwing things up, and we end up creating where we have to go all the way in a circle, and we have to hit the reset button. That's why they say, if you read the story about Moses and the Egyptians, if any of you guys saw Prince of Egypt, right? It's a really good a cartoon to let your kids watch. I think Prince of Egypt is on Netflix. But Prince of Egypt, it was about Moses taking the Egyptians out of Egypt and taking them to the promised land. It took them 40 years for what should have been, I don't know. I can't remember what the journey was, like the distance, but it should have been a lot shorter. But the people grumbled, they complained, they wanted to go back into slavery in Egypt. Like everything God promised them, no matter how many miracles God gave them, they still complained. And God was like, y'all ain't going into the promised land because your mind not right. So God gave them the vision, but they kept bucking up against the vision. So it kept being delayed to the point that God allowed the next generation of people, of children, to be born, right? And had them waiting, like had those slaves that were left out of Egypt make it right across the way from the promised land and let them see the promised land. But he allowed a whole new generation of children to be birthed who had the vision. And those were the ones that actually were able to go into the promised land. And the reason why is because their vision wasn't tainted, right? So when it came down to Joshua, was it Joshua? Or I think it was Joshua, right? They had to go over into I can't remember where they were going into, but into the promised land and go spy it out, right? Now he went with a couple of other soldiers, and when they went over into the promised land, it was Joshua and I think it was Joshua and Caleb, right? And all the other spies, whoever, it was Joshua and somebody else, and all these other spies. Some of the spies came back and was like, oh my God, they're big. We're like grasshoppers in their sight. We can't go over there and conquer them, because they had to go over and conquer them and remove the people in the promised land so that they can take possession of the land. And Joshua was like, nah, we got this. We can defeat them. Let's go to war. Let's get them out of there. We're going to take over the promised land. And that's exactly what happened. The generation that was able to see it, the generation that were willing to go in and conquer and live according to the promises that God had given them, were the ones that were able to go into the promised land. Many of you guys have not been able to fulfill the promise that God has given you because A, you're allowing all the distractions that's happening around you to defeat your mindset, right? And to conquer your ability to see God's promises over what the world's distractions are. And you're speaking negative against the ability for you to conquer those things. And so because your words are not in alignment with God's promises, you're delaying your ability to operate in the vision in which he's giving you. And so we have to learn. That's why, listen, people get out here and I see people bashing, whatever, religion, Christianity, the Bible, all these different things. Listen, you can have whatever beliefs you want to have. But my thing is this is one of the greatest sources of wisdom, even if you read it just as a book, right? You may not fully understand the whole conceptual process of Christ and all these things. But even if you read this as a book, the level of wisdom that is here far exceeds the dumbfounded conversations that are happening in the world today, right? So even if you can read this book from a source of wisdom to get guidance about, they call the BIBLE, basic instructions before leaving earth. If people always say, well, there's no blueprint, there's no manual on it. Well, listen, this is the business manual right here. If you need a blueprint, you need a guide, you need instructions, you need wisdom, you need mentorship. This is the greatest source of wisdom you can ever get, because even if you read it just as a book to get a sense of guidance, it will give you what you need to get to where you need to go, right? And so a lot of times when people come to me and they ask me, Nicole, how are you able to stay focused? How are you able to do this? How are you able? Because I have a guide, a blueprint that fills me up with promises and guarantees and guidance that allows my mind to be filled with the peace of God, that no matter what's going on around us, I can trust that there is a much higher being greater than myself that got this covered. And what I have to do is focus on the one key thing that I can, and that's focusing on the vision and the energy that I put into every moment of my day, right? And so this is the instruction. So number 5 is everything comes in time to those who can wait. If you are not living, like number 1, y'all, if you don't have a vision, it's time to figure out what is the vision that you should have for your life, because it takes having a vision to know which direction your life should be going in. And many of us, it says my people perish due to a lack of knowledge, and without a vision, my people will perish. Okay. So if you don't have a vision for your life and for your future, well, that is a spiritual alignment thing. You got to get in spiritual alignment to get that vision for your life, right? That's not something any mentor, coach, nobody can give that to you. Your parents can't give it to you. Your grandmama and her beliefs and faith, she can pray for you. But if you don't make a decision for yourself to get connected to spiritually to what the vision is that God has for your life, then that's just a personal decision. It's going to take for you to say, okay, God, I need you to show me what is the vision that you have for my life and what should I be focusing on? And then once you get in alignment with that vision that God has for you, then you will be able to begin to know what direction to focus your energy and your effort on. All right. So number 5 was about everything comes in time to those who can wait. Number 6 comes, that was number 6. Number 7 is it's all about the journey, not the destination. Okay. It's all about the journey, not the destination. Guys, this life that we are living, it's way more about what's at the end result. It's way more about who we become than where we end up. Where we end up is important, but what matters is who you become on this journey. So right now, with all that's happening, Everything that's happening right now in the world that we are in is exposing and revealing our true character. This is revealing who we really are, right? This is putting us in a position where we can see we're all being tested. Everybody's being tested right now. When life is good, it's easy to be positive. It's easy to be, it's easy to be a leader when there's no challenge and no hardship. But let life fall apart. Let all hell break loose. Who's going to be willing to be on the front lines to go to war and go to battle and really be able to fight in the midst of chaos and lead people through that process confidently and boldly? Who's going to be willing to do that? Very few people step up when all hell break loose. This is when you see people begin to flee and run and hide, because we realize what we're really made of when we're faced with challenging circumstances, right? And this is when your character is being built and developed and challenged. There's a scripture in James, and I'm gonna see if I can find it. Sometimes I have stuff underlined, right? But it talks about the pressures of life and that it produces perseverance, and perseverance produces patience, and patience produces in us, like, your character is being built in hard seasons. And so, a lot of you guys are sitting, and this is what I've learned. I thank God that I've been through the life that I've been through, where I've been through so much hell in my life and so many challenges. I mean, from a childhood, from your house getting shot up, right, to dealing with being kicked out of schools and being considered the wayward black sheep child, and being told that you'll never amount to anything, and being the kid that nobody wanted their kids to hang with because I was a bad influence, right? I've been through so many different things that God has made so many miracles happen in my life that I'm like, yeah, okay. I realize that we're always going to get on the other side of that, and that I got to know that no matter what kind of hell I've gone through in my life, that God is going to escort me through this and make me become a whole new evolution of myself on the other side. So when hell breaks loose in my life, I look forward to the other side. I'm like, oh God, I look at my life like a storyline. I tell people all the time, when hell is happening in your life, I want you to look at your life like you are the lead character in a movie. You're the lead character, right? So if you think about a book, any book, I got books all around me. I'm reading, y'all know I'm reading Circle Maker, right? I got books all around me. But if you think about a fictional book and a leading character, one of the juiciest aspects of a book is when all hell is breaking loose and things get very hard, because people are like, ooh, how they gonna get through this? What's on the other side of this? How is she gonna make it through that? Ooh, I'm wondering. It's like all of a sudden, when all hell breaks loose, the audience gets big, because everybody wants to see what's gonna happen. That's why people love reality shows and they love drama. They want to see what's going to happen on the other side of a hardship. That's when character is produced. And when you're going through hell, you got to begin to look at it being a movie, and you're the leading star in the character. And it always, it has the opportunity to become happily ever after. But the question is as that leading character, how are you going to endure that hardship? How are you going to endure that climatic moment where everybody is watching? Because if you begin to look at it like a leading character in a movie where I'm on the big screen and people are sitting in the theater right now watching this, so I got to show them what I'm made of. When you begin to think about that everybody's watching, and that there's going to be something on the other side, and I have to show them what's on that I can get through this, it changes your whole focus and mindset of how you approach hardship and how you go through hell. Right? You start realizing, like, I'm about to navigate this thing like a soldier. I'm going to make sure that people see what I'm made of. I'm going to make sure that I'm going to be an encouragement and inspiration. I'm going to be somebody that's really going to create impact through this season, because people will be able to see that I've been able to get through it, and they can be able to get through it too. One of my other favorite scriptures is in 2 Corinthians, right? Where it talks about you're going through the things that you're going through so that you can be able to encourage others who are going to go through it after you, right? It talks about it's 2 Corinthians 1. It starts at chapter 3, and it says, all praise to God, the Father of our Lord Jesus Christ. God is our merciful Father and the source of all comfort. He comforts us in all our troubles so that we can comfort others when they are troubled. we will be able to give them the same comfort God has given us. For the more we suffer for Christ, the more God will shower us with his comfort through Christ. Even when we are weighed down with troubles, it is for your comfort and salvation. For when we ourselves are comforted, we will certainly comfort you. Then you can patiently endure the same thing we suffer. We are confident that as you share in our sufferings, we also share in the comfort God gives you. So it's saying when I'm going through hell and hardship, God is comforting me. And as God is comforting me, when you come behind me and you're going through hell and hardship because I've gone through it, I can come and comfort you. So I'm not going through this just for myself. I'm going through it because I tell people all the time, when you're going through hell, right? When you're going through hell and you actually begin to endure that hardship with a sense of overcoming, right? I know I'm going to get on the other side of this. I know I'm going to conquer this situation. I know I'm going to win over these emotions. I know I'm going to win through this circumstance. What happens is as you endure, it's like God gives you a key, okay? And he gives you that key. And that key gives you the freedom of overcoming that circumstance and that situation. When you overcome it, and let's just say I'm standing on the front line, right? And behind me is a ton of people who are all going through the exact same thing. Well, what happens is as God frees me up from this situation, he gives me a key. I take that key, and that key grants me access to unlock other people who are going through the exact same thing that I'm going through. So as I get this key, I now turn around and there's two people behind me. I want you to think about it like a pyramid, like a wing full of people, an auditorium full of people that are behind me. God gives me this key. I turn around and I unlock the front row of people. When I unlock them, guess what? All of them get a key. They get to turn around and unlock the people behind them. And when those people get unlocked, they get a key. And what happens is everyone begins to release each other because of their ability to endure these hardships. They're able to unlock others. So that's what happens when you make a decision to endure what you are dealing with a commitment that as I get freed up from this situation, I commit to go unlock other people. Because what happens now is you realize that it's not about me, but it's about me being freed up to impact, inspire, and deliver other people who are enduring the exact same hardship. So that's why it's not about the destination. It's about the journey. There's a scripture in here that says, he that has begun a good work in you will complete it until the day and the coming of Christ. That means that until this world comes to an end, until God says we are done, it is finished, your mission is over. Until God says that it is time for you to leave this earth, he's giving you a mission to fulfill, and he is going to make sure if you commit to fulfilling that mission, because you got to make a decision that, Lord, I want to fulfill this role that you called me to fulfill while I am on the face of this earth. It says that he that has begun a good work in you will complete it. Will complete it until the day and the coming of Christ. Right? So that means that until the end of the world, until your end of the world, until it's time for you to leave this earth, because we all got to leave. If you commit to fulfilling the role that God has planted in your life, he is going to make sure that you complete the mission that is on your life or the assignment that is on your life. It's a matter of you to commit. If you commit, he will complete. Bottom line. So number 7 is it's about the journey, not the destination. Many of you guys are caught up in the journey right now because you don't feel like you're at the destination. But the journey is character building. It's an evolution of you becoming who God has called you to become. It is the ability for you to do the things that you need to do so that your life can have an impact on others. All right. So that is number 7. I'm going to recap these 7 things again for you to begin to focus on the things that you desire. Number 1 is direction is the result of your focus. Number 2 is release all your negative energy. Number 3 is never let failure hold you back. Number 4 is look for ways that you can add value. Number 5 is plan for tomorrow, but live for today. Number 6 is everything comes in time to those who can wait. And number 7 is it's all about the journey, not the destination. I want to encourage you guys to really begin to commit to taking control of your mind, take control of your future and do the things that you can do with this time, this precious, valuable, wonderful time that God is giving you right now. Because what you do with this time right now will dictate who you will be 30 days, 60 days, and 90 days from now. And I can tell you without a shadow of doubt is, baby, God is setting me up and setting us up for some miracles and some wonders to happen, because all the stuff that he has told me to do since whenever, I now see the relevance of it in this specific season. And I am committed to doing what is necessary so that I can create the level of impact to get to the other side of this. So I hope and pray that this inspires you guys. If you feel like this is beneficial, share it with someone. You know, right now I see people begging for Bible studies, and I see people looking for motivational, inspirational communities to plug into. I do have a community that you guys can plug into. If you go into on my Facebook page, you can just click and join our Facebook group. I don't even know what it says on there, but the link is there. You can also join my email list at thelifepurposeschool.com, thelifepurposeschool.com, or lifepurposeschool.com, and get on my list. You can get plugged into what I'm doing. I'm training and teaching people during the season on how to launch their own businesses and how to turn their ideas into income. And I'm mentoring people. I have a work day to day where I have 20 students that have committed to working with me for the next 4 weeks to turn their ideas into income in the next 30 days. You know, if you want to learn more about that, you can DM me, but we're working. We going to work. We putting in the energy and the effort. We're building in this season, right? We're devoting our time to do what is necessary so that we can be in a different position 30, 60, 90 days from now. And we are making sure that we're equipping others who want to, not those who need to. It's a lot of people who need, but those who want to and commit to being on the other side with us. If you are interested in learning how to work from home, launching your own business, making money from home, you have ideas and things that you want to give birth to, and you are willing to commit the time, the energy, the effort, and the money into it, even if you only have a little money, because we're making sure things are feasible. If you really want to shift your life in this season, reach out to me, and I can show you as multiple things that I have access to that can help you get to where you need to go. It's just a matter of choice. It's a matter of putting your time, energy, and effort into making that happen. So if you're interested in that, reach out to me, and I will make sure I get you plugged in somewhere into all these resources that I have. But other than that, I want to pray that you guys have a great and productive day, and you redeem this time today to really do the things that you can do to advance your life. And I pray also that the peace of God that surpasses all understanding guard your heart and your mind through Christ Jesus. So if you guys are wanting to learn more about building a relationship with the Lord, and if you really want to really get your life in spiritual alignment, reach out to me. I'll definitely love to talk to you guys. If you guys are interested in a Bible study and you want to come together to understand how to really understand God's word, and, you know, just knowing what to study and how to translate these things and apply it to your real life, reach out to me, because I definitely need to do a Bible study. And so I would love to have, you know, a few key people that are interested in learning how to do that. Reach out to me and we can make that happen. All right. So I have a call in 5 minutes. I got to go. I hope that this blessed you on today. You guys have a great and awesome day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye, y'all.